What is up, everybody? Good morning and welcome back to Marvel Rivals. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to get back more into some spectating content, and we are going to once again be looking at KssarPlayz. I hope I'm saying that right. But I was kind of rolling through this, like his replays, and I saw this game that he has on Adam Warlock where he goes 31-6 with 16,000 damage, and I thought that looked a little bit strange. So I figured we would go into this replay for the first time together. I haven't looked at this replay at all. You can see they're running 3 healers as well, so this is kind of an interesting setup, something that you don't really see, especially at high ranks. This is a very high rank that they're playing at, and he's also playing with Necros, who is one of the best Spider-Mans, if not the best Spider-Man playing this game right now. So let's dive into the replay, and hopefully we can see how to play Adam a little bit more effectively, or even play this 3 healer setup that it seems like a few people have been adopting recently. So let's switch over to him. He's actually starting off as Hawkeye, but let's see. He does switch to, Adam around the, I don't know, third of the way or so. We're going to see some Hawkeye gameplay before that, but Hawkeye got through bans, which is a little bit crazy. So I am interested to see how his Adam kind of stacks up, though, too. He's going for some picks here. This is a very cheeky angle. He actually domes that Mantis. That is kind of crazy. That effectively ruins the enemy's first push, which is kind of nuts. And then they also swap a character, I believe, there, too. Or what team up was that? I'm not sure. I just saw it over on the left-hand side of the screen. So great pick. The enemy kind of has no choice but to wait, which is very, very nice. This is the reason to play Hawkeye. He domes the Strange as well, and then starts looking at this Star-Lord. Their whole team is back, so they finally start to push in, but he actually headshots the Wolverine there and gets rid of a ton of the enemy's pressure. Oh my god. Okay, this guy is a pretty good Hawkeye. This is why you ban Hawkeye, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely why you want to ban Hawkeye. He has such crazy pick potential, and then, you know, you're just down a person. There's no point pushing with 5 people. So very, very interesting. Here's the Star-Lord over here, and he's just kind of looking for him because he knows no one is on point, because they kind of just wiped them. He knows the Star-Lord is over here, but the Star-Lord is standing still. So that was a little bit awkward. Not sure if he wanted to take that 1v1, but not too bad. The Star-Lord actually ends up getting a 2-piece there. He kills the Hawkeye and the Mantis, so that was pretty bad. And as you can see, the enemy is actually starting to get a little bit of progress on the point, or they would have gotten more, but the Iron Man just triple kills them, so that was kind of crazy. And then his team is able to clean up the Star-Lord, but it is still a pretty even battle on this point. Their Hulk is pretty low, and he's just trying to get one more pick. Actually picks the Star-Lord and gets the Strange and the Hulk. Okay. And the Mantis. Okay. All right. Yeah, this guy's a gamer, let me tell you. And I will also tell you that there's no way that would happen if I was playing Hawkeye. So, you know, that's yeah, this character is kind of crazy. Being the only character that can one-shot squishies in the game is pretty crazy. That's why you'll see this character way more than Black Widow, for sure. So, still on Hawkeye, ults here, knows the enemy is pushing, sees the Star-Lord up there, and is unfortunately not able to get any kills on this Star-Lord. I'm not sure how he doesn't kill the Star-Lord there after hitting that clip before, but it looks like his team is going to lose this point a little bit. But the Mantis ult actually does save them from Star-Lord ult, so they do still have a little bit of holding potential here. The enemy Hulk hulks out, and their Cloak and Dagger also pops her ult to try and heal through it. His team doesn't really have a whole lot of ults, so it looks like they're probably going to get pushed off of this point. I would guess that they get pushed off this point, but the enemy team does have a Hulk and a Venom too, so that's very, very important. Necros actually is playing Wolverine instead of his usual Spider-Man. I think that's a very, very good swap. And he gets absolutely run down on Hawkeye here. So that is not going to be very good. And the enemy is just capping that first point, but that's okay because they did hold them off for almost the entire time, a good 3.5 minutes. And this is where he switches to Warlock, it looks like. So coming back in, and he's, I don't know if this was intentional, what the thought process was behind it or anything like that, but Adam he can do a lot of damage. It's kind of insane. He has a really good headshot modifier as well. And as someone mentioned in one of my other videos, his right click does not have a damage fall off. So he's able to do a lot of damage from range, a lot of burst damage, and keep people up. But he's not a very good primary healer. As you can see down in the right hand corner of the screen, his cooldowns are very long, so you can't spam his healing. He tries to charge up his right click around corner and one-shot the Hawkeye, but he ends up getting 180'd, which goes kind of crazy. At this point, he's seeing if his team can still win the fight. He knows his Mantis has ulted, so he's going to cocoon and try and heal his team up. Unfortunately, he's out of heals right here, and he's a little bit stuck on the side. And the Star-Lord is running him down. Gets a couple cheeky headshots on him right as he turns the corner, and is able to actually pick off the Star-Lord there too in that 1v1 situation. Almost 1v1 situation. We'll give it to him though. We'll give it to him. Still standing over on the side here, just getting some good damage. Keeping his other healers safe as well, kind of, because his other healers are on the other side of the payload, and he is over on this side. So if they dive him, his team is able to capitalize and stay a little bit safer. His other healers are able to be a little bit less contested, since the enemy Hulk is doing a pretty good job of diving the backline. So at this point, I would expect him to play a little bit more safe, since he's got ult, and his ult is pretty impactful, especially if you can res an entire team. So again, just spot healing. He soul bonds to try and keep his teammates safe. It works as a Spirit Link Totem. He also drops ult. I realize not everyone plays WoW, but a Spirit Link Totem just periodically kind of normalizes the health of allies. He drops his ult early, kind of in preparation for the fight. And if you did not know, too, Adam's ult, you can drop it really far forward, or really far back, I should say. And then the radius is actually created by Adam himself, so you can move away from it, and they will res back at where you placed your ult. So a lot of people think that you kind of need to stay on your ult or ult right in the thick of things, and usually that is not going to be super great, because you'll res people at not full HP in the middle of a fight, and you won't have enough heals to top everybody unless you have both your Spirit Bond and two charges of your E. So definitely be sure to drop your ult a little bit further back, and then step forward so that you can create that radius around you. If any teammates die near you, then they will be rezzed. So again, Spirit Bonding, trying to help keep his Mantis safe for the impending dive. This Hulk is just not taking any damage, unfortunately, but immediately looks up at the Star-Lord, trying to line of sight all of the Star-Lord's damage. And they do a pretty good job of that for sure. They knock Hulk into Bruce form, and without that Hulk, their team is going to crumble pretty easily. Something that I noticed Necros does is, since this isn't a Necros video, but he's a very good player, so definitely worth mentioning, is that the enemy team just switched off Venom. Actually, they switched to Thor, and Thor is obviously significantly less tanky than Venom. I don't know if that's obvious, but Thor is definitely going to be a little bit of an easier target to do damage to, and so since they don't have two of the highest health pools in the game on their team, he's able to play Spider-Man a little bit more confidently, and that damage is not necessarily needed by him. So kind of a cool swap. Wolverine goes crazy if the whole enemy team is really tanky, if they're playing Groot, Hulk, or something like that, or Hulk Venom, or... Oh, I need to switch to the correct target. So back on Adam. Soul bonding here, making sure he's getting 4 people with that soul bond so that he can periodically normalize the enemy's HP. Still just playing with his team, helping his team out, healing, especially when you're going through chokes like this. Having 3 healers and having that extra burst healing is definitely pretty helpful. He takes the 1v1 with the Star-Lord again, but backs up. It seems like his team is doing a pretty good amount of damage too. I probably wouldn't switch to Adam just for damage purposes or anything like that, because playing another DPS maybe could have made this game a little bit quicker, but he is still doing a pretty good amount of damage. He's hitting his shots, he's keeping his team alive, and he's really just enabling this Hulk to do whatever he wants because of the amount of healing that he's able to output, in addition to his Cloak and Dagger and his Mantis. So once again, soul bonding just to make sure that no one dies. We do lose the Spider-Man there, but the Spider-Man definitely pushed a couple people back. Pretty easy. This Mantis takes a 1v1. That was not a great 1v1 to take, and the Mantis is staggered, so they should get this first point with relative ease. and he's able to step up, and since they have so many healers, they're able to just keep people alive and push the enemy back and down to the right, which is probably not the place the enemy wants to be, since the payload actually does go to the left. They're able to pocket this Iron Man 2, and Iron Man Hulk will do a ridiculous amount of damage, and this Iron Man is able to play much more offensively since he knows he's got all that backup. They actually push the enemy pretty much all the way back to their spawn. Okay, that is, I probably would have not gone quite this far, but it's interesting that they choose to just full commit to pushing the enemy this far back. Because now they have a ton of space to work with. If they need to back up, they have infinite space, and they're not having to be close to the cart. They do have someone standing on the cart, though, so I believe their cloak and dagger is on the cart, making sure that it goes a little bit faster. I would love to know what the movement speed is as well. So he drops ult preemptively here for the incoming fight to see if the enemy has some ults. As we can see on the top right, they have all 4 actually, so definitely was possible that they would have ulted there, but that's okay. You don't need to get like a hero Adam ult as well. I think a lot of people, again, similar to like when we talked about in the Psylocke video, you don't need a 5-man res. You don't need one of those hero mercy ults or anything like that to be good on this character. You just need to be consistent. You need to keep the people alive that are alive, and definitely just prioritize helping out your team than being a hero or getting a clip. If you're clip farming, just go play quick play. You know what I mean? Like, this is competitive, and especially at ranks in like this, it's like there are people that are looking for that rank 1 title, so why not help them get there? You know what I mean? So, getting right back into this, the game looks to be almost over, but the enemy actually does switch to 3 tanks, which is a little bit interesting. Probably a good swap considering that one of their DPS on KssarPlayz team is a healer, but they're still able to push these guys back. I don't know. I don't think the 3 tanks is going to out DPS 3 healers that are just able to keep people alive, and this Iron Man is absolutely pumping this game. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know what to think about this Adam DPS. I think he's able to keep his team pretty healthy pretty much all the time. He's using mostly left clicks, it looks like, with just a couple situations where he's prioritizing his right click and doing a little bit more burst damage, but it's cool that he kind of made this swap and realized that his team needed a little bit more healing to make sure that they got that ground safely, and really just funneling into that Hulk. I believe their Hulk actually switches to Doctor Strange here, thinking that he might need a portal or something like that since they have 2 minutes left. But looks like they are pretty comfortably staying alive versus the enemy team. And the enemy do actually switch back to a magic. So the Groot actually switches back to magic, which is, at this point of the game, probably not a good idea, just because you lose a lot of ult charge if you switch back. I didn't even look at his ult charge, but so maybe he wasted some, maybe he didn't, but either way, the magic is only at 53% ult, and this is likely the last fight of the game. So with all these healers, he's able to stay alive, even though the Mega Hulk gets on him there for a second. He soul bonds, so his team is going to be pretty much safe. They can just focus on damaging, and their Iron Man is fully uncontested. He's pretty much 100% health this entire time until right then, and he's just able to pump so much damage into the point with his little beam. They get Eye of Agamotto'd because of their new Strange, and they're able to land the wipe and get the win. So there you go. I figured I would do a video like this too because my other Adam Warlock guide video got a lot of attention, so I wanted to create another opportunity for you guys to see a high-level Adam Warlock doing what they do best. He's a really good side healer as well. He does get MVP here, but yeah, he's a very good side healer, not a very good main healer because as we mentioned before, he does run out of heals, but he goes 31, 6, and 14. He does 16,000 damage, which is definitely a respectable amount of damage. He still does the same amount of damage as this magic, more damage than the whole enemy team combined, and he's still able to do another 9,000 healing. So if you like this video, don't hesitate to leave a like on it, and if there's anything else you want to see from the channel, please let me know. I'm happy to make any content that you guys want to see. So until next time, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.